Hey everyone! Welcome back to my channel. So for today, pag-uusapan naman natin ang isa pang napaka-importanting BIR regulation na dapat alam ng mga business owners, which is Revenue Regulations 10-2002, which talks about ear expenses. So hindi yan ear as in tenga ha. So let's look at the definition and the meaning of AR or ear expenses. So again, under Revenue Regulations 10-2002, EAR stands for Entertainment, Amusement, and Recreation. So ano ba talaga ang ear expense? So this is the definition of an ear expense. It's a representation expense and or depreciation or rental expense relating to entertainment facilities. So, sa simpleng salita, or in other words, ito yung mga gastos na ginagawa mo para i-entertain ang mga tao na may direct business connection sa'yo. So, specifically, ito ha, representation expense siya and or depreciation or rental expense relating to those entertainment facilities. Okay, so let's break down this definition. Okay, focus muna natin itong representation expenses. So, ito yung mga gastos. So, when we speak of representation expenses, ito ang mga gastos na ginawa ng isang taxpayer in connection with his trade, business, or exercise of profession. Okay? So, the purpose, ano yung purpose of these expenses? The purpose of these expenses is to entertain, provide amusement, okay, and provide also recreation to or meeting with guests, okay? So, saan usually magmi-meet ng mga guests or entertain ng mga guests? Ang usual dito sa mga dining place of amusement, pwede rin country club, theater, concert, play, sporting events, and other similar places or events. Okay. So, but take note, the term representation expenses, different po siya from yung usual na allowance for representation. No, have you heard of fixed representation allowances na binibigay sa mga employees? This one is different po. Kasi yung fixed representation allowance na binibigay sa mga employees is subject to withholding tax on wages. Okay. Now, here's a common mistake when it comes to golf clubs, country clubs, and similar places. So, what if the company paid for the membership fee ng isang empleyado sa isang golf club or country club? Okay, so si employer or si company mismo ang nagbayad ng membership fee. Pero the member itself, yung member mismo, ay hindi yung company, but your employee or official or officer of the company. So what happens now? In the eyes of the BIR, the first assumption nila is that this act of the company in paying for that membership fee of that certain employee or officer is treated as a fringe benefit. Okay? So since it's considered as a fringe benefit by the BIR, therefore it is subject to fringe benefits tax. Now, to avoid this presumption and to have it treated as a representation expense instead of a fringe benefit, you need to have receipts and other records showing these 5 things. So ano yung dapat na naka-indicate sa receipt and other documentation? First, the exact amount of the expense. The date and place where the expense was incurred. The purpose of the expense. The professional or business relationship you have with the person you entertained. And most importantly, the name and company of the person you entertained together with their contact details. So, di ba? Ang laki ng difference. So, it's all about documentation. Now, let's go back to the definition of an ear expense. So we have talked about a while ago yung part ng representation expense. Now this time, let's define entertainment facilities. Kasi 'di ba sabi sa definition ng ear expense, pwede din i-record as ear expense ang depreciation or rental expense of an entertainment facility. So let's define entertainment facilities. So, what are these? Based on the regulation, revenue regulation, it can be a yacht, a vacation home, or a condominium. But take note for the yacht, the use should not be restricted to just specific officers or employees. Otherwise, it will be treated as a fringe benefit. Okay. The term entertainment facilities also includes any similar item of real or personal property that is used by the taxpayer primarily for these purposes, no? Entertainment, amusement, or recreation of guests or employees. Now, these facilities can either be owned, pwede din naman rented by the company. So if you own the entertainment facility, then you are claiming depreciation for these facilities. And such yung depreciation na yun can be treated as an ear expense. Should be treated as an ear expense. If you don't own the entertainment facilities, and instead of you owning it, you are just paying a rental expense, rent for those entertainment facilities, then the rental expense should be treated as an ear expense. So rent of these entertainment facilities. Okay. Now, speaking of guests, who are they exactly? So when we speak of guests, ito yung mga tao or entities na may direct business relations sa'yo. Like for example, clients, customers, or pwede din naman prospects. Okay? So take note, employees, officers, partners, directors, stockholders, or trustees ay not included sa term na guests. Okay. So let's talk about common mistakes and what are not considered ear expenses. Kasi based on my experience, no, most companies are recording these transactions as ear expenses or representation expense when in fact, these expenses are not to be considered as ear expenses. Okay. So even though many companies mistakenly record them as ear expense or representation expense, take note the following are not ear expenses. First, those that are considered fringe benefits. Because again, if it's a fringe benefit, it shall be subjected to a fringe benefit tax. Those expenses for charitable or fundraising events, those are not representation or ear expenses. Okay? Expenses for bona fide or legitimate business meetings of stockholders, partners, or directors. So if yung meeting na yun is exclusively for the partners, for the stockholders, ang expense nyo for that meeting should not be recorded as a representation or ear expense. Okay? Paying for an employee to attend or sponsoring them to a business league or a professional organizational meeting. So that is also not treated as an ear expense. Expenses for events for promotion, marketing, and advertising, which includes concerts, conferences, workshops, conventions, and other similar events. And lastly, other expenses similar to those first five mentioned. Okay. So, okay, let's say you've followed all the rules laid down by this revenue regulation and that your expenses really qualify as ear expense. Guess what? There is still a limit on how much you can deduct from your gross income, meaning may maximum amount po tayo na pwedeng i-claim as ear expense. Okay? So, what is that maximum amount? So the maximum amount depends on whether or not you are engaged in the sale of goods or properties. So if you are engaged in the sale of goods or properties, the maximum amount that you can claim as an ear expense is 0.5% of net sales. Stated otherwise, pwede din naman sabihin na 50% of 1%. Pwede din 1/2 of 1% of net sales. Okay? Ano po yung net sales? Net sales is gross sales less sales returns, any allowances, and discounts. Now, if you are engaged in the sale of services, mas mataas yung maximum amount of ear expense or representation expense. So this time it is 1% of net revenue. So ano po yung net revenue? This is gross sales minus discounts. Okay? Now, what if after computing the maximum amount, you still have an excess ear expense? May sobra pa na ear expense na hindi mo na pwedeng i-claim as ear expense. Question, can you reclassify the expense as another type of expense? Pwede ba natin yung excess, ilagay na lang muna natin sa miscellaneous expense? The answer is a big fat no. Okay? The excess will be disallowed in its totality. And if you claim the excess using another account title, and malalaman yan ni BAR, so you might face penalties for that. Okay? And then lastly, make sure that your ear expense is reported separately in your income tax return. So this is a sample of an income tax return, page 3 of 1702. Annual income tax return for corporations. You can see here at number 6, item 6 of part 6, you can see there entertainment, amusement, and recreation. Okay? So there you have it. Your expenses explained in a simple and easy to understand way. So I hope this helps you and your business. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Please also do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to my videos for more business, law, and tax tips. See you on my next video. Bye-bye, everyone.